understand my past and how I came to be yours. Love you, Mama. Love changes. Dear boys, you probably don't really think about the love between your dad and me. I imagine it's a bit of a weird concept to think of a love being shared that's different from the love we have for you. Seeing as you were born out of that love, I feel I should delve a little deeper into our history and how things have developed over the last 21 years. On my first day at Sylvia Young Theatre School, I was ushered into a studio of 150 excited children, all giddy at being back at school with their mates after the summer holidays. I was bang on time after power walking from the station thanks to a delayed train and was feeling anxious and nervous at being the new kid. My year group, all 22 of Year 9, were sitting lengthways across the hall in the middle of the other classes. Christine, the matron, took my name and led me to my spot, which correlated with the alphabetical place my name fell in the register. I was placed next to your dad and his friend Jason Green. There was something instantly likeable about your dad. Perhaps it was the way his pink cheeks constantly looked like they were blushing, the way his silky blonde hair fell into perfect curtains either side of his face, or the fact he was wearing the cheekiest of grins and his eyes shone as he spoke to me. "What's your name?" he asked, Jason smirking beside him, egging him on. "Giovanna, but you can call me G," I replied, already aware that most people couldn't say Giovanna correctly and often forgot it. "Well, my name's Tom, but you can call me T," he said, his grin growing wider. It was cheesy and silly, but at 13 years old I thought it was super cute and funny. I giggled in reply, instantly aware that I fancied him. 2 minutes into life in a new school and I'd already kick-started a new chapter of teenage drama and love. Later on that day, your dad and a few of the boys in class realised that if they jiggle the letters in my name around, you can spell vagina. Embarrassingly, I didn't even know how to spell it, and told them they were wrong because there was no R in my name. Virgina. What a tit. Your dad was not deterred, though. We became girlfriend and boyfriend later on that day. According to him, I stomped into the courtyard and grabbed him for a kiss in front of everyone, and even stuck my tongue in his mouth, but I don't buy that in the slightest. I was going to say I didn't have much kissing experience back then, but suddenly I've remembered the parties in Year 8 where the goal was to kiss as many guys as possible in one night. Gross! So maybe your dad is right. Your dad will say he knew instantly in our first conversation that we had a connection and would get married one day. I'm not as adamant as him on that subject, but there was a definite connection that followed us through the years and kept pulling us back together through the tougher times. From the ages of 13 to 18, we were very much an on-off couple, declaring our love for each other, then ballsing it up, causing us to part for some time before we got close again. Not a month went by when we weren't in touch in some way. Whether it was by meeting up, it would inevitably end in a kiss, or through texts, calls or emails. Even apart, we were still linked. Fast forward to 2003, the month before I started an acting degree at Rosebruford College, and I went to Namibia for a month to do some charity work with an orphanage. I had no access to a phone during that stay. I was cut off from life back home, and I'd regularly think of your dad. I didn't think too much of it. I was missing his 18th birthday party and just assumed it was my brain's way of processing our relationship. At that point, I'd already been with my boyfriend at the time, a Metropolitan Police officer, for just over a year. Yet it was your dad who was on my brain. My boyfriend was pretty uninterested in my life at drama school, whereas your dad thought it was cool that I'd moved away from home and was becoming more independent. For the first 5 weeks, I crashed my mate Tom Hopper's sofa in the week and went home at weekends while I waited for my own accommodation to be sorted. It was only when I was driving over to my boyfriend's house one Friday night, 3 weeks into drama school, that I decided I was going to end things. I hadn't even considered it until that moment, but it entered my head like some sort of an epiphany, and I felt no doubt or reluctance about doing it. I was heartbroken knowing that I'd hurt him. I spent the night cradling his weeping head in my arms, and that it was likely to be the end of our friendship, but there wasn't a moment of hesitation, which was why I knew it was the right thing to do. The following weekend, your dad asked me to go around to the band house he'd moved into while I was in Namibia. I declined, thinking it was too soon, but agreed to go over the next weekend. They had a beautiful home in North London, and the boys lived like students with money, eating far too many takeaways, dabbling in weed. They were obsessed with the Xbox. That said, there was an exciting buzz and energy in the place, with musical instruments everywhere and incredible amounts of talent. The times they would sit there, strumming guitars and singing their songs with such emotion